Hey, what is up, guys? And welcome back to another Magic the Gathering online league. We're back with Herigast Eldrazi Ramp on the play for game 1. I mean, we're just missing a 7-mana value spell. This isn't bad, though it is a little bit awkward with the Sprawl and Commercial District. I'll keep. There's also a world where we draw into a K command that's only 4 hits off the top. Yeah, I suppose we'll go District, Temple, Rumble, and go from there. Alright, let's start off with District, Trigger. Of course, we find the K command. There's only 4 hits off the top, so I think it was best for us to go for the Rumble on 2. There's Urza Mind map, so we are playing against Tron. Kind of already knew that since it was JMac, but always good to confirm. Rumble, so there is Worldbreaker Chrysalis, another E-Temp. I'll go with another E-Temp here. And we'll pass 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, I mean, we're angling for Emrakul pretty quickly here. 2, expedition map for Tower. Yep, makes sense to me. Draw, another Herigast. Man, I do hate seeing multiple Herigast, I'll tell you what. Let's see here. This will be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So 5, 6, 7, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we could sprawl here for double red. And then hold K command. Alright, let's see what they got with 7 mana. 3, Chromatic Sphere. Okay. They have green, so this is Bobbletron. There's the Myco spawn as expected. Kicking, that's actually fine because it adds another type to yard. So that actually helps me more than it hurts me here. Yep. And 3, another sphere. Draw a card. Draw a card, green. Sylvan Scrying, Chromatic Star. Imagine you want to hold the star for green. Yes. That makes sense to me. End step, K command. Ramp Scry draw. I mean, this is a turn, what, 3? Turn 4, Emrakul. There's Sowing Myco spawn. So 4, I guess actually we have a few different lines available to us. We don't need Temple. We can play the Myco spawn kick. And then pick up a Ghost Quarter to boot. It's an option. We can also go Herigast. I can always just go Emrakul next turn, which is also a decent option. But not entirely necessary, I don't think. Let me see how much mana I have. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 minus 4 would be 4. Unfortunately, we don't have a way to generate double red. So I'm thinking we go bottom, top, and top. Draw, and draw. Sowing Myco spawn, kicked. I will kick the mine. It's now 6, 7, 8. I guess we could go 9, 10. Thinking maybe we go Ghost Quarter here, just to ensure that they can't reassemble Tron. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I mean, still have the Emrakul next turn at this rate, so yeah, we'll Ghost Quarter. And I will go to their draw. So draw step, Ghost Quarter, target power plant just to dot our I's, cross our T's. Forest, and at that point we'll pass in full. Power plant, star for green, draws a card. 4 for a Myco Spawn for a Karn. That's actually okay. Please grab Liquid Metal Coating. Because we're going to have Karn smash right into my Emrakul. Alright, I will draw Cavernous Souls, confirming 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we'll go E-Temp. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we could go Cavernous Souls. The main benefit of that is we could emerge, but we also don't need to emerge next turn. So in that case, we'll just E-Temp and say hi to Emrakul, friend. Tis an Emrakul, always yield. And Bone skips it up. Yep, makes sense to me. This is Eldrazi Tron. Win for game 1. This is another really good example of all the times we have Herigast in hand and never casting it. That's why I'm not sure about Herigast. Like if those were Sire 7 Deaths or Null Drifters, they would have been perfectly fine as well. So I'll bring in Magus of the Moon. We'll bring in Dismember. We could argue Disruptor Flute. Even Wasescape. Herigast isn't bad in this matchup, actually. Not too concerned about it. They do tend to disrupt our overall game plan. We do want to cut K-Return at a minimum. We can cut Bog. We do want to keep the Ghost Quarter. Magus is sackable to Herigast, funny enough. Sire 7th is good because they run Sire. Chrysalis is good. We could cut Herigast, or I could just say no to Flute. Saying no to Flute seems reasonable. Keeping Magus and Dismember in, and cutting an Herigast seems reasonable because Worldbreaker's good, Sire's good, Emrakul's good. Yeah, let's run it like this. Cavernous Souls is solid. We don't have any green sources, which is a bit upsetting. But that's fine. We can pitch the Sprawl. Opponent reveals Devourer, Gemstone, exile Utopia Sprawl, and pass. Let's see what they exile. Pulse, yep. So still on the same list as last time. There's Tower, Map, and Pass. Verdant Cat. So, in that case, we can Verdant Cat. We can fetch for Stomping Grounds. Shock. Talisman. Oh, I guess I didn't need to ping myself here. Yeah, because I could have Utopia Sprawled onto the Stomping Ground, then play the Talisman. Yeah, that's on me. If I die by 1, then that is unfortunate. But this will allow for a K command X equals 4 on turn 2, which is pretty good. So let's hope that they don't end up getting a Myco spawn. I mean, a turn 2 kicked Myco spawn's pretty good. Alright, so which one did they exile? They exiled Tower, so we're gonna go after Tower. Do we want to go Ghost Quarter here? I mean, it would really hammer home that you are not getting Tron anytime soon. Yeah, we'll grab the Ghost Quarter, and then we have a Sanctum and the K command to search. Yeah, I think we're in a good spot. We'll pass. No reason to use it now. There's the mine. And we'll just pass at this point. Yeah, that's fine. Draw. Another K command. Solid. Let's go to combat. Swing for 3. End step. And then have them draw. And again, we've taken out Tower. At this point, I'll just go after mine. No Tron for you. There's mine. Ancient Stirrings. What does Ancient Stirrings find? A sphere. Okay. Allows you to draw. Yep. And Ancient Stirrings for what? There's the Tower. Unfortunately for you, it will in fact not matter, because we're going to go K command. X equals 5. Trigger Sanctum. Yes. So off of Sanctum, we could just grab another Myco spawn. We could grab a World Breaker. We could grab an Emrakul. We have a ton of options here. Not to mention digging 5 deep. Yeah. Overall, very, very clean win against E-Tron. Thank you, Gemstone Caverns. Turn 2 Myco spawn strong. Who would have tunk? Alright. Well, we'll be back for match number 2. Alright, we're back for match 2 on the play for game 1. What makes this hand good? Not much, to be honest. Nothing's castable in a meaningful way. 7 mana value spell gives me a K command 1 on 2. Temple gets me a K command 1 on 2. Utopia Sprawl gets us a K return on 3. Or K return on 2. Gets a Chrysalis on 3. Yeah, this is a mulligan. Okay, so we have ramp into Rumble. Maybe angle for the Herigast. Could also just stick the Herigast underneath. Yeah, probably what I'm going to end up doing. Pitch a Forest. And Ugin Lab. Tuck and pass and hold. Marsh Flats. Passing. Draw. Second Rumble. Rumble. Does it resolve? It does resolve. Chrysalis actually is decent here. We will grab the Chrysalis. This allows us to actually set up for the Herigast in future turns, which is nice. So we can guarantee its resolution with Cavernous Souls. Of course, we can't actually emerge the Herigast because we don't have double red, so a bit of a downside there. Shadowy Backstreet. Alright, question of the day. Are you running White Orchid Phantom main? If this is what I'm thinking it is. Flood Strand. Because I'm thinking this is probably Esper Blink. Would be my guess. I know they don't normally run White Orchid main anymore, so I'm not too worried, but it's something to think about. Felia would be a bit annoying as I don't have any interaction for it, admittedly. Godless Shrine, Shock to 17, hold for Felia, or play an Overlord of the Balemark now. You also could push the spawn, but looks like they're holding for Felia. Okay. Commercial District, Cavernous Souls, name Eldrazi. And red and green. Tis a Chrysalis, always yield. And at this point, we'll just hold. Let's see the Felia. Yep, there's Felia as expected. We'll hold. Flickerous would be annoying. Overlord of the Balemark would be pretty good for them, especially if they find a Solitude. And there's the Flickerous. They'll flicker the Ugin's Lab. I guess they could. So there's an argument for them to actually do that in a different order, but say la vie. So 3, 4, 5, 6. I will be short. We'll flicker Chrysalis. Yep, makes sense. That will resolve. How many times do I have in yard? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So not enough to justify going for an Emrakul here. ETB, no imprint. And draw. Bog. No reason to play Bog right now. Let's start off with Rumble then. Rumble. Well, there is another Herigast. Unfortunate to see double K command there. That's just rough. But we'll go with the Herigast. I will play Commercial District, Trigger, Surveil, Stomping Ground. There actually is an argument for me to keep the Stomping Ground because, well, I guess actually the right move for them would be to Flicker Wisp. Would be to have Flicker Wisp my Chrysalis. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And Stomping Ground would be 9, so we could play the Herigast regardless. I'll put the Stomping Ground on top. And, I mean, Chrysalis will get hit by Felia regardless, but it requires them to flicker it rather than, let's say, Flicker Wisp. So I think that's fine. We'll just hold then. No attacks. We'll take 5, most likely. The next question is whether or not we sacrifice having our Sire in hand, because Sire's decent in the matchup. I mean, obviously it's a Solitude, but it's a 14-point swing when they do end up exiling it. Now I guess this will mean that they won't have it. What did he pitch either? Anyways, Witch Enchanter? Yeah, it's kind of doing nothing. Okay. That's fine. Witch Blast, 14. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We'll have 9, but I think we'll probably stick with the 7 first off the Sire. Emperor Bones can exile Solitude. Probably what they want to end up doing, yeah. That way they can get that going. So we'll play the Sire first. Can't do much about that. 3, 6, 7, 8. Take 5 to 15, yep. Paying cost for or not. Trigger. Draw. Stomping Ground. So we could either Stomping Ground or we could Sire a 7 death. The issue that I foresee here, I guess actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, I won't have enough, right? If I Stomping Ground Shock and attempt to cast Herigast with a merge off a spawn, I can't sack the spawn for the mana. So I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah. So in that case, maybe we just play the Bojuka Bog and play the Sire, then eats the Solitude, which they'll do on my end step, so that way it doesn't exile, and then they'll Felia the Solitude. Yeah. Not great. In that case, yeah. Yeah, getting over those K commands is actually kind of rough. There's Sire. There's the Jukabog. Target you, and then pass. On end step, Emperor Bones, adapt. Trigger Solitude. Target Sire. Again, it's a 14-point swing, so another Sire will get us to a point where they can't interact with it without having to Solitude one of their creatures first. Yep. Trigger. Solitude. Trigger. Pay the ward. 7 or up to 22. Pass. So we currently have access to how much mana? Only 5, so 6 right now. Not looking great, to be honest. Types in yard 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 plus 6, 12, short 1. So probably best to Felia flicker the Flicker Wisp. So that way Flicker Wisp can flicker one of my lands on end step so I don't get it back. Well, I guess the Solitude, right, because they want to keep it. That way they can flicker it in future turns. Draw. Okay, command is good. I will shock the Stomping Ground. 3, 6, 10, 13. So that's lethal damage on board. Now I can make spawns to make up for that, so that's fine. We can K command X equals 4. Ping cost for Bowmaster. Bowmaster's a bit annoying, admittedly. Down to 10. Ping cost for Thoughtseize. Well, aren't you annoying? Well, I wanted to exile ramp, but now it's probably best for me to ramp Scrydraw instead. We'll have 4 blockers. I guess really 3 because they can Felia. Actually, no. If I do 4, Bowmaster will ping 1 to 3. Down to 2, I'll have 2 blockers. And so I can, let's say, block and block. That'll be 3, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that's actually fine. We're not dead. Oh, I guess 9 because of the Orcish army. Yeah. So we'll be at 1. Yeah, really unfortunate that it's ramp, then Scrydraw. Oof. So we can bottom, because we're not going to be able to do that. We can bottom, we can top and top. Draw the temple, trigger the Bowmaster, targets the spawn as expected. Sack in response. Actually doesn't grow the Orc army, so we're actually still fine at 2. Thoughtseize will see the Herigast. Push. That might mean I'm dead. Yeah, that might be it, because Felia, target, block 1, Emperor. So I'll take 3, 6, 9, 11. Yes, I'll concede at this point. And the push, got him there. So this is blink. And again, the Herigast just kind of rotting in hand for way too long. So we want Wastegate Battle Mage in. We want Dismember in. We can cut 2 Herigast. We can cut Gemstone. We can cut Bajuka Bog, keep the Ghost Quarter. And I suppose we'll cut a Writhing Chrysalis here. Yeah, that seems reasonable. Because we still need 9 11 mana value spells. I guess we could go 2/2, just because sometimes Emrakul isn't going to get out all too easily either. Yeah, 2/2 seems fine. Let's run it back like this. Once like this is where I kind of wish I had Devourer, but Devourer just has never performed well in E-Ramp. What makes this hand good? A Lab would make it better. Good to be a bit of a stretch. I think the biggest issue is that we're on the play. If I was on the draw, I might be a bit more tempted. I'll mulligan. Okay, Wastecape's good. I'll keep Pitch a Stomping Ground. I mean, this is angling for a 7 mana value spell, but it would be a K command 2/2. Yeah, we'll do this. We can hold up to Dismember. We'll pass. And hold. Thoughtseize. I mean, there's not much to do about that. Yep. Probably take the K command. The good news is we do have additional removal for the Felia. K command down as expected. And draw. Stomping Grounds. We'll play the Wooded Foothill. Pass. And hold up Dismember. Flooded Strands. That's definitely a Felia. End step. Fetch Wooded Foothill. For Commercial District. Trigger. Another Wastegate Battle Mage is okay. It's not great. I'm gonna say no to Wastegate here. And draw. Another E-Temp. There's no exact reason to expose E-Temp here. We could just very well play the Stomping Ground and it would be just fine. So let's do that. Play Stomping Ground tapped and pass. Play the Felia so I can dismember it, please. No Felia. Okay, that's fine. And we'll hold. Paying cost for another Thoughtseize. I imagine you take Dismember. Be surprised if he didn't. Yep. And again, hold for Felia. So I'd love to see Chrysalis, Mycospawn, another K command here. Draw. Yikes. In that case, we'll play the E-Temp and we'll pass. We're drawing bricks. Let's see the Felia. And Felia, yep. And hold. Imagine they play an Overlord Veilmerk here. No, attack with Felia. Holding up something. Interesting. Imagine holding up Consign then. Draw. Well, there's Herigast. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we could play the Wayscape and then try an Herigast. That seems desperate, given that I can only assume they have a Consign in hand, and the Wayscape would be getting 0, and I mean 0 value here. Again, wish you were a Null Drifter, wish you were a Sire, wish you were, and I guess not an Ugin, to be fair, because we have 2 E-Temps here. But yeah, Sire, World Breaker, Null Drifter, any other 7-mana value spell would have been fine. I will pass. Playing Orcish Bowmaster. Go to Delta Fetch, Surveil. Yeah, having that blue up just makes me think that they'll just hold on to Consign here. And hold. Worst case scenario here, by and large, is going to be a White Orchid Phantom. Felia attacks. Alright. And draw. I mean, at this point, we might as well play the Wayscape if we have redundancy here. No reason to expose the Herigast. No reason to play the lab either, admittedly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Even Interrupter. Interesting. Okay. I mean, we'll have one for 2 next turn anyways. I'll cast the other Wayscape. I guess we'd need 7 or 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we'd still be fine, so this is okay. Play the Wayscape. They have the Even Interrupter. They willingly tap their blue. And I had a ton of mana left over. Flickers. Target. Target. Yes, that is fine. Felia, target Flickerless, target not Sanctum, but Eldrazi Temp would be my guess. Down to 11. Flickerless trigger. Wayscape. Flickerless, target E-Temp. Yep, makes sense to me. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have the mana we need. 2, 5, 7 for Sire, though. The main downside of either or is just the sheer fact that they can counter it. Ugin Lab. Imprint the Herigast. Attempt to resolve the Sire's 7 deaths. It gets consigned. There's no ifs or buts about that. Yeah. Even Interrupter. Lash Disrupt. might still have the consign. My E-temp back, thank you. E-fem, Flicker Wisp, Flicker the Ugin's Lab. No. I guess they want to deal more damage. Interesting. And I'll block the Felia if they don't flicker it. And not much I can do about that. Down to 3. Emperor Bones. And draw. Myco Spawn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We could play the Herigast. The main problem is twofold. We want to cast the Sire, but it's going to cost us 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We draw into a land that we can cast the Sire, the Herigast. We'd have blockers, I suppose. Yeah, let's return it to hand. Emerge of Herigast, sacrificing the Wastegate Battle Mage. Does it resolve? It does. I'll exile my hand. K-return. Huh. Well, that would have been good. Another Aven Interrupter. Oh, that's unfortunate. Because now that means that these cost 4. Yeah. Yeah, they do. And even if I had enough to K-return... Actually, if I had enough to K-return, I would be able to sweep the Aven Interrupters, but I don't. We only have 2 mana. Yeah, we're short 1. Alright, we'll concede. Not much to do about that. Yeah, it's just another example. I'll be honest, I do not like Herigast. I do not. It feels like I can win despite playing it a lot of times. And times where like I can play it, or even when I'd rather it be another 7-mana value spell, or there are times where it's just in hand and I'm like, well, if this was another 7-mana value spell, I could have been playing this instead, right? So yeah, I don't know. I don't know about Herigast. I think it's, like I said, very high ceiling, but very low floor. Not great in between. That said, though, all the way back 4, match 3. Alright, we're back for match 3 on the draw for game 1. I mean, yeah, we'll keep it. Question is what we're pitching. I think we pitch a Myco here. Yeah, Sire would be solid here. Herigast is good if we can get the Myco spawn on board and then emerge it. Yeah, we'll pitch a Myco. I'll pass. Plains. Is Ragavan. Draw. Wooded Foothill. Is there a reason not to surveil next turn? Probably not. I guess we go E-temp into E-temp. E-temp into E-temp, Myco spawn, find another E-temp Sire. Wouldn't be bad. Alternatively, just go Wooded Foothills, E-temp, Myco spawn, E-temp, Cavern of Souls, Sire. Yeah, we'll just go Wooded Foothills and pass. Not much we can do about stopping the Ragavan right now. Alright, Ragvan, what you got? Hit me for 2. 18. Finds a Rumble. You could cast the Rumble. You do play Flage. Paying cost for Rumble. Yep. Tribal Flames. Probably takes the Binding or the Scion of Draco. I'm kind of hoping for the Scion, honestly. Actually, ooh, they can cast it, can't they? Choose the Binding, though. Okay. Oh, because they already had a Scion of Draco, understood. End step, fetch, commercial districts. Trigger. Stomping Grounds to Yard. And draw. Ooh, okay. This makes it interesting. So we're going to cast a Myco Spawn. Is a Miko Spawn, always yield. And we'll grab an E-Temp. And then we'll pass in full. If they Binding the Myco Spawn, that would be fine, because it gives us free reign on the Sire. Unless they have another one in hand, I suppose. Or Consign Main, but then again we have the Cavern of Souls, which would be fine. There's the Binding. Yeah, that's a-okay by me. So we have the Sire next turn then. 2 7s, we have 9 for Emrakul. There's an Eldrazi Temp. Would have liked that, admittedly. Do you have any follow-up? Plays... Tribal Flames to 6. Yeesh. Draw. K-Return. Can't do much with that right now, but that's fine. Name Eldrazi. Tis a Sire, and we'll pass. You have another Leyline Binding is the question. Kavu. Kavu's fine. They pass. K-Return. So, Herigast right now. So we could attack. They would not trade well. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we short on Emrakul. We could K-Return. And then sweep. I mean, it would allow us to go Emrakul next turn. Or not next turn. Actually, it'll let me go Emrakul this turn. Yeah, I guess we could do that. I'd have 4 types in yards. Emrakul would be free. We'd have control of their turn. Because, yeah, attacking here, they just shove the Ragavan and Kavu in front of Sire and trade. So that's not good. You could also K-Return. Yeah, I don't know. This one's a bit awkward. We do K-Return. Actually, how much mana do I have? No, I'm short K-Returning twice. Because, yeah, we could K-Return, sweep the Ragavan at least. If they have any form of interaction, we just lose. But if they had any form of interaction, they would have played it, right? That was a bit of a moot point, I suppose. Yeah, I don't know. This one's awkward. Alright, let's do this. We're going to go red 1, 2, K-Return. Keeps the Ragavan. Emerge out of Sire. Red red. Done. I do not want to K-return. I do not want to exile. So no, and no. That's 4 types in Yard. Emrakul. Emerge. From Herigast. Triggers. Always yield. And Bone Scoops. Okay, we'll take the win. So this is Zoo. Win for game 1. Let's move to game 2. So we want Wayscape Battle Mage, Dismember. Some people would argue Magus. I'm not certain about that one. So we can cut the Ghost Quarter, keep the Bog. We want to keep Chrysalis, so maybe cut down on K returns then. Yeah. I suppose we could just fully cut K return and go Emrakul and just keep the 3rd. Yeah, it's an option. Let's do that. Sometimes the K returns can do their job, sometimes it's a bit meh in this matchup. Hits off top here. Utopia Sprawl, K command, so 4 hits. I'll take them in 11 rumbles, so... Or sorry, 8 hits, so 11. I'll keep, sure. Pass. Probably tuck the Emrakul here at this point. Draw. Wayscape is good. We do like ourselves a Wayscape. So in that case, Ugin Lab, Imprint Emrakul, and pass. And hold. Show me a Sign of Draco. That'd be nice so I can Wayscape it. Flooded Strand, fetch. For Temple Garden, Shock, Kavu? Kavu, okay. It's a 4/4. Show me a K command. Sprawl. So in that case, we'll go Stomping Ground, Shock, Sprawl for red. And pass. And hold. Arid Mesa, fetch. Blood Crypt, Shock, 14. Kavu's a 5/5, so I'll go down to 13. Trigger, discard a card, discarding a Flooded Strand. Wear Tear. Well, that's unfortunate. So now I need another source for Chrysalis. Yep, that resolves. Not much to do about that. Ragavan, so we can put a Wayscape in front to block. It's not my preferred course of action, but it might be right. But the Chrysalis, that's a yikes. So they also are specifically holding up the Thundering Falls. What that tells me is they have a consign. Ugh, that's 7 damage down to 6 though. Yikes. We're gonna hold. And hold. Attack for 7. Down to 6. Eats a Sprawl, so they're afraid of the Emrakul. Fair. Finds a forest. I like that forest, though I think it doesn't matter because you have a consign in hand. Kavu, yep. Draw. Eroding Cap. So we can cast the Chrysalis. It's not resolving, though. So let's see if we can bait them. I'm going to attempt to cast the Wayscape Battle Mage. Wayscape resolves. Eroding Catacombs, fetch down to 5. As much as I would like double red, we're going to go green here. Writhing Chris. Do you have a consign memory. If you do, you win. Yep, there it is. Because I'll only be able to block a Kavu, we'll concede. Yeah, it's possible that maybe we could have played the Wayscape last turn and tried to eat the consign. May have been right to do so. Cut the gemstone, bring in the Herigast, and run it back. I'll be on the play for game 3. Yeesh. I will mulligan. I'll keep pitch a lab. Yes. Guess we could pitch a talisman because we're gonna go lab, imprint, talisman, stomping ground. No, we can pitch that, yeah. Opponent also goes down to 6. They go down to 5. That is promising. I do need to draw something off top, though. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, a Myco Spawn or a Chrysalis would be fantastic here. Hugin's Lab, Imprint, cast Talisman, and pass. And pass. Draw. E-Temp. Talisman. Stomping Ground, tapped. Sprawl. For red. Pass. So yeah, K Command, Myco Spawn, Chrysalis. We have a lot of good hits off the top here. I'll take a Rumble too. Draw. Battle Mage. No reason to play the Temple. Yeah, I'm not thinking there is. The thing is, they're holding up blue specifically for that consign in hand. So I will, I guess 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If we drew into another temple, we'd hard cast the Herigast. However, it specifically require me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, you know what? That's fine. We'll play the temple. Pass. So we can return Herigast to hand on end step. It gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we can cast any of our 7-mana value spells. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But if we draw into a temple specifically, we could cast Herigast. Return to hand. And draw. I mean, Chrysalis is by no means resolving here. No ifs or buts. Chrysalis. Always yield. There's consign. Now, there is some thought to casting the Wayscape here, because then we could emerge Herigast off of it. It's not ideal. Let's go for it. Pass. Since they did not even hold up priority there, that tells me they do not have another consign in hand right now, which is good news for me. They have a ton of hits off top here. Sire, Worldbreaker, Myco Spawn, Chrysalis, K Command, Rumble. Like, the majority of our deck is just solid. Of course, we have a ton of lands as well that we could hit right now. That'd be pretty sad to see. Leyline Binding to Yard. That's intriguing. Why Binding to Yard when they know of an Herigast? Tells me they probably have interaction, would be my guess. Yeah, I mean, that would be my guess here. Draw. Go to combat. Cast a Cyrus 7 Deaths. Not what you were expecting, or probably hoping for. Pass. Do you have another consign? If you do, you can't let that resolve. That's just not an option. Okay, so there's a consign. Pass. Again, temple, or if they just leave the Wastegate alone. They're missing their land drops too, which is nice. 5 cards in hand. There's no way they can't cast anything. I mean, I'm trying to think of what dead cards they would have here, and there ain't much. On the 4. 13 in hand. There's Kavu. And Kavu, that's fine by me. So, windows open for me to cast the Herigast. There's Chrysalis as well. So in that case, green, red, colorless. You have access to red, red. And then emerge from Chrysalis. 1, 2, 3, 4. Triggers. Should just always yield. Always yield. Let's draw 3. Play Commercial District. Trigger. Myco Spawn. I'll put that on top. No combat. We'll pass. Not much we can do here. Obsidian Charmaw can hit the Stomping Ground. Choose the Temple instead. It is specifically non-basic land, yeah. So they could have hit the Stomping Ground. And Sign of Draco, so we can exile the Sign of Draco. And draw. So, let's take a look-see here. We have how much mana? So I can kick Myco Spawn and World Break immediately after. We could kick off the Wastegate, which is an idea. Do we even need to, though? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 minus 4 would be... Or, yeah, 7 minus 4 would be 3. So... we could Myco Spawn. Would be 3. If I sacrifice the Wastegate, it would be 5. We'd still need to sacrifice the Myco Spawn, so we go for Myco Spawn here. And cast Sacrifice. Or rather, kick. So we kick. I guess I should use Double Sprawl first. Let's Sprawl first. We do need to hold back a second green, though. Let's go double green here. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Kick. And we'll grab 2, and that'll be 3. Yes, so that is correct math. So kick Myco Spawn. We'll go after Spara's headquarters. Grab an E-Temp. And then cast by merging off the Myco spawn. And exiling the Sign of Draco. I mean, we could attack here. We can block the Obsidian Charm, we can block the Kavu. Yeah, I think this makes sense, because now we're presenting lethal damage next turn. So they can't attack with this Obsidian Charm on unless they have another blocker. Trigger 1. And Bone scoops it up. In retrospect, maybe it would have been better not to kick. There wasn't really a reason to kick at this point. We could have grabbed Sanctum of Ugin instead, and then went off from that. Yeah, that may have been the better move in retrospect. Because then we could have played Emrakul. Yeah. So, probably a little bit of a better choice there. But we did get there, and Herigast did admittedly help that time. With that being said, we'll be back for match number 4. Alright, and we're back for match 4 on the draw for game 1. I mean, if we had, like, any castables, I'd be okay with this, but we really have nothing. Like, the best card to find off top here is probably a Rumble at best, and that's 3 hits. We'll just mulligan. This is looking more promising, because now we're looking at Chrysalis, Myco Spawn. Yeah, this is much better. K command. Probably pitch the Ghost Quarter here. And done. And pass. This way go Forest Sprawl red. E-Temp. And again, trying to find a castable here. We have 12, 15 hits off top. Draw. Forest, Sprawl for red, and pass. Thundering Falls, Surveil, could be Cutter, could be Storm. I don't know why, I feel like Storm, which this hand is not good for. Steam Vent, Shock, show me Medallion. Corey, okay, Cutter. So it could be Cutter, could be Prowess. No follow-up though, that's surprising. Another Emrakul, not what we wanted to see. We'll play an E-Temp and pass. And pass. We'll talk Emrakul. At the very least, we're looking at a Siron form, which is decent, don't get me wrong. I'd love to see Myco Spawn, I'd love to see Chrysalis here on turn 3. K command again would be good. Another Cutter, Slick Shot. So those look like it's Prowess, which I haven't played against in a hot minute. Red for Lava Dart. Triggers. Okay, down to 19. Hit me for 5, down to 14. Could really use a K command here. K command, so K command, K return, Chrysalis, Myco Spawn. We have tons of hits. Brutal. Yeah, that's really unfortunate. We drew brick after brick. It's also why I don't like having too many Emrakuls in the deck. I really don't. I think 1 is a good number because sometimes you end up with this. Once again, if either of these Emrakuls or another 7-mana value spell, I'd be a bit happier, but also not by much because we also wouldn't be able to cast it anyway. So a little bit of a moot point, I suppose. But I'll pass. I'll pause on end step. Not much we can do other than pray. Because they can at least get one cast off of Dart. Blue, red, EI, triggers. I mean, I'm thinking I'm dead here, right? They're going to have at least 2 monks and a slick shot. We're at least 13. Yeah, I think I'm just dead. Oh, mutagenic growth? I'm dead. I mean, honestly, they might try. No, they didn't even try and play around removal. Like, if you had removal, you'd already played it, which is fair, honestly. Oh. That's 7, 10, 12, dart. Yep, game. That is game, my friends. They should have played around a K-return, though. But then again, I would have played it at sorcery speed. Really? Well, now I can't fetch, though, because they have dart. Rude. Oh, that growth. Yeah. I mean, I think I'm just dead at that point. Yeah. Okay. I mean, if we were able to cast the Sire, I might be in a better position. But that mutagenic growth pushed me below the threshold. So this is Prowess. Lost for game 1. Let's move to game 2. So we are bringing in Trinisphere. We are cutting probably an Herigast Emrakul. We can cut Ghost Quarter Cavern of Souls, which allows us to bring in one other. We'll bring in another K-return. And probably run it back like this. That seems reasonable. Alright, on the play for game 2. I'll keep it. Not my favorite hand, but it is workable. Running Catacombs, pass, but a pause on end step. Should I rumble over K-return will be good. Scouting Tarn. Fetch for Commercial District. Trigger, Surveil. Chrysalis on top is good. We'll take that. Draw. E-temp. And rumble. There's a Sire 7 deaths. There is a Utopia Sprawl. I mean, I'm inclined to go for Sire here. Yeah, I think that does look good. I will pass. So the next turn we can Chrysalis or we can Myco Spawn. And Chrysalis can block flyers, which Myco Spawn cannot. But the difference is Myco Spawn does get a land where Chrysalis does not. And our spawns are more interactable by comparison. Pass in full. Casting what? Nothing. Okay, so that tells me that they have a consigned memory. Okay, return solid. And we could just sit back and hold. And that's an option. I'm going to shock and attempt to resolve a Myco Spawn then. Let's see your consign, friend. Yep, there's consign. Really, give me the body? No, I was about to say. You wouldn't. Steam vents, shock. There goes the Myco Spawn. Yep, Consign, as expected. Normally I'd probably use the Chrysalis as bait instead of the Mycospawn, but in this case I think I want the body of Chrysalis over the Mycospawn body by comparison. And pass. Red, blue, EI. Alright, well, shields are down right now. What is EI Exile? I mean, the best case scenario is a land. Slick Shot, which they can't do anything with. Huh. Draw. They could consign. We have a K command. Let's get a body on board. Actually, before we do a body on board, let us rumble. Yeah, let's rumble. Oh, I need a green. I need a green. E-temp. 2k returns in yard. That's actually pretty good. In that case, I'm just going to hold the K command and K return. This is A-okay by me. This means we have World Breaker, Sire next turn, and 2k returns in yard right now. Tapped. Alright, let's see what you got, friend. Red, red. Steel cut. Yep. Second spell is what? Bobble trigger. Yep. That's fine. We'll use the K command as permission then. Bobble target me. That's fine. Because we can then world break and exile the Corey Steel cut. Would be my thought. I'll take the 2 from the monk, see if they want to pump it. Yep, that's fine by me. 15. End step. Like I said, I'm going to use the K command as permission. So ramp and scry draw. Show me your consign. You're really gonna let me ramp for 3 and scry draw? Yeah, I was about to say, no you're not. Yeah, that's fine by me. We'll pass in full. Bobble trigger, draw, and draw. Another K command. Well, I will exile the Corey Steel cut. Do I even need to sweep? Probably not in the grand scheme of things. But it doesn't hurt to do so since we have 2 in yard. And pass. And pass. Alright, what say you, opponent? I'd like another land so we can play the Sire. Preordain. What we thinking, friend? Bottom draw. Code redraw of the Islet. You could also use this K command as permission next turn. There is a consideration there. Yeah, especially with them holding up so much mana, I think that makes the most sense. In that case, do I even want to attack? I mean, a lot of the cards are hasty, right? I suppose there is something to be said of if the Chrysalis resolves and we have a K command next 2/2. And if it doesn't, no, I think we use the K command as permission, like I said. We also have the K return if entirely necessary, but we'll just hold back the blocker. No reason to be too aggressive here. Draws a card, yep. Holds up 1. We'll K command X equals 4, see what they do. Bobble. So no cutter in hand. Bobble target self. Do they like what they see? They do not. Shuffle it away. Surveil. Tap. And go into end step. Alright. Again, we'll use K command as permission. Let's see, do you have a third consign? You do not. Alright then, so we want to draw the Cavernous Souls, no matter what. Thinking Temple, K command, Sire Cavern, draw. Bobble trigger, draw the card. So in that case, we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we can cast the Chrysalis and the Sire 7 Deaths. Let's start there. I guess if they consign the trigger, though, we can't, admittedly. They would have consigned the K command. Really? That's honestly kind of shocking. Yeah, that's fine. I'm confused, but that's fine. Well, Cavernous Souls, name Eldrazi. I just wanted to have more spawns, or make a bigger Chrysalis, Trigger K return, always yield. No. Is there a reason to not attack at this point? There actually is. They can burst damage pretty significantly, not to mention into the Flood Maw. So we'll just pass, and we have another Sire in hand. So next turn we'll attack, put him down to 7, play the other Sire, and then we're solid. So playing more defensively feels perfectly acceptable here. I think we draw into what, K command next turn as well. I was gonna scoop. Sounds good. In that case, I do want my Cavernous Souls back. So I will cut a K return. So win for game 2. And let's run it back. On the draw for game 3. Annoying. What makes this hand good? So, like, the hand gets better if you find soul lands, but it doesn't become good is the problem. It feels way too slow for the matchup. Even if we were to draw into Chrysalis or Spawn, it's still going to be castable until turn 3. Trinisphere is good. Trinisphere would be a good draw, but that's only 3 hits off the top. K-Return would be okay as well. I mean, that gets it to 6 at least. It gets more tolerable, but I think we mulligan. Man, these hands are kind of rough. Goes again. So Utopia Sprawl would make it better, but still we're not looking until a turn 3 cast. And I don't think we can do that, especially on the draw. Oh, hand's garbage though. Shoot. Alright. Keep. Pitch. I think we pitch. Oh, we have to pitch. Jeez, yeah. Alright. We'll pass. We're gonna hope that this Trinisphere can just carry us. Jesus. Steam Vents. Would love to see a Utopia Sprawl here. Draw. K command. We'll play the E-Temp. We'll pass. There is something to be said about exile in the DRC next turn if their shields are down. Swift Spear. Yep. And attacking. Did you miss your land drop? That'd be pretty huge if so. I'll take the hit. They did. Oh. Second Trinisphere. In that case, yeah, I think I K command, DRC, and ramp. And done. DRC down. We'll pass. That way they just can't sculpt. Hopefully they don't ping our spawn. We'll take the 1. If they hold up the blue, it feels like they have a consign. Possible. Paying cost. Bolt, target, me or spawn. Target the spawn. Can't do much about that. Hopefully we draw into a land. Down to 16. Bobble. Bobble, target me. Yes. Trigger. And draw. Bit unfortunate. We'll rumble. We'll find an E-Temp. We'll play the E-Temp. And I'll pass. K returns in yard, which is good. Will they find a land is the question. They did. Scouting Tarn. Paying cost for Steel Cut. Okay, so shields are down. That's significant. Paying cost for growth. I mean, I think we just block the Swift Spear then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we definitely block the Swift Spear. Mitigate some damage. Draw. Misty Rain. So we don't need to play Misty Rain, but if we play Misty Rain into Rumble, we could then go Trinisphere after. So Misty Rain. I guess we go Stomping Ground, Shock to 11. Feels a bit aggressive, admittedly. Rumble. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, we'll go Sire. Trinosphere and pass. So they're locked out of playing anything unless they find another land. Pass. If you find a land, we have the Sire. And can sweep with the return. Two. Sorry, friend. Ain't gonna work that way. Oh, yeah. That works, actually. I stand corrected. Take 3 down to 8. Alright, what are we drawn to? Draw. Brutal. Commercial District trigger. Put the Sire on top, so we have back-to-back Sires. We'll cast another Trinosphere. And pass. And pass. Did you find a land? Yeah, Slickshot Show-Off is still going to cost 3. I'll take 3 down to 5. Alright, I think we stabilize with the Sire. Draw. Sire is 7 death number 1. Triggers. Always yield. Yes. And pass. And pass. Once they mire, you can now cast a card. But I don't think it's gonna matter now. I think with the Sire on board, we win. Unless you're able to deal me 5 damage on this turn, and it'd have to be non-combat damage. Blue, Preordain. Alright. Bottom draw. I mean, Sire at this point is going to have pseudo hexproof. Yep, and votes yourself. Alright, solid win against Prowess. We'll be back for match number 5. Alright, we're back for match 5. On the play for game 1, I will keep... I'll be on the play. I do not think I will keep, however. Well, what makes this hand good? 7-mana value spell would help a lot, because then we could go land, tapped, lab, imprint, talisman, talisman. That would give us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, kick on 3. Yeah, why not? We have 11 hits off top, so it is doable. Mulligan's a 6. Alright. Start off with Stomping Ground, tapped, and pass. Again, we have 11 hits off top for... whatchamacallit? 11-mana value spells for lab. Would Temple do it? No. We'd have to draw on... I guess actually Temple would be fine. The main reason being is then we have a decent number of hits. Okay, yeah, so kicked Mycospawn would be great. So Temple, 7-mana value spell. Go. Well, okay. So be turn 4. Forest. Talisman. I'm likely to still cast Mycospawn next turn for a Ghost Quarter. And pass. And draw. Oofda. In that case, I'll play the Forest. Cast the Myco Spawn, because I really just don't want them getting to Tron. No Tron for you. And Ghost Quarter. And we'll go to your draw. Map. What you grabbing? Grabs a power plant, a mismatched power plant. Draws. I will Ghost Quarter mine. Pass. No Tron for you. Okay. Could be Besage. Not Besage. It could be K Command X1. Could be Dismember. Oh, this is Blue Tron. Interesting. Okay. So we have to worry about Portent of Calamity. Not a fan of that. Draw. Rumble. Combat. Maybe. Attack for 3. Attempt to resolve Rumble. I suppose we go for another Chrysalis. Play Lab. Trigger. No imprint. Attempt to resolve Chrysalis. Resolves. Shocking. Alright. We'll pass in full. Did you find? Yeah, you did. So I'd love to see a Myco spawn here. If they have a Portent, they could Portent X equals 7. That would be less than ideal. 7. Oh, that's exactly what they're doing. Okay, it's not great either. World Breaker. So what I now want is a World Breaker. That way I can sweep and exile. That would be good. Either that or Emrakul. Set 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I guess not. Be short one on Emrakul. So yeah, World Breaker I think would be ideal. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. Draw. Oofda. Oofda, oofda, oofda. In that case, I will play 1, 2. So yeah, we can play Talisman. Also, they went 2 top, 4 bottom. To use a Chrysalis. And we go to combat. Imagine they don't block here and they just Portent for what? 13? And we're gonna end up dying. No, maybe not. Okay. Down to 14. And at this point, you more or less just put a pause on end step and pray. Portent for X equals 12. 13. Is Portent double blue or single blue? I'll say it's single blue, but I could be incorrect on that. Maybe it is double blue. What this? Oh, it is single blue, so I was right. Why go just 11 though? Why not 13, eh? Ain't nothing I can do about it. I mean, you got Ugin. But otherwise, that's an oof. That was an oof. So yeah, imagine you just play Ugin plus Ugin pass. Would be my guess. Just Ugin, yep. What happens to the rest of them again? Then put the rest of the exiled cards into your hand. So they chose, let me confirm here, Talisman of Dominance, Subtlety, K Command, Portent of Calamity, and Urza's Tower. K Command, Tower, Subtlety, and Urza's Tower, yeah. Cast the Ugin. Yeah, the fact that they go to hand is pretty rough. Ugin plus. So 5 cards in hand. Pause on end step. And Wooded Foothill fetch for commercial districts. Triggers. Again, would love a World Breaker. That's not a World Breaker. To Graveyard with you. Go to Cleanup. Yeah, I need a Sowing Mycospawn would be good. So pitches. Interesting. Discards Subtlety, Tower, Talisman. Now, why discard the Tower? Rumble. In that case, let's start with Rumble. Jesus. Talk about a rough hit. Yeah, I guess I'll grab a friggin' Windswept Teeth. What in the world? We attack all at Ugin. And I thought they got unlucky. Friggin' hell. So now they block the 2 Chrysalis. Yep. I'll put a pause on end step. Yeah, should have a 3rd Stomping Ground in deck. Oh, guys, they had another Temple. Another X equals 11 Portent. They could 0, yeah, I was about to say. There's no... Oh, okay, I mean, they just do that. I mean, I'm not dead yet, but they have another Portent as well. Yeah, it's not looking good. Fetch, Windswept Teeth, Stomping Ground tapped. Yeah, passing full. Passing full. Not much we can do. 7 in hand. If they just give themselves an extra turn again, I just lose on the spot. It's Annihilator 6, right? Yeah. So 1. Trigger all the process. Yeah, would have been good if they were untapped as blockers, I suppose. But then again, they have the K command just waiting. Alright, down to 3. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I mean, we can Emrakul of our own, but I'm not sure that's even going to be doing anything. Yeah, I think I'm just going to lose here. Okay, there's another Aeon Storm. Yeah, they just win. Because then they get an extra turn, they attack in, we lose. Eyes will concede. So this is Eldrazi Tron. Lost for game 1. Let's move on to game 2. So we want Magus of the Moon. Let's see. We can cut Bog. Cut Gemstone. As opposed, cut a Sire. Keep a Herigast for the combo. We could Disruptor Flute, naming either Portent or naming Ugin, theoretically. I feel like Wastecape's not doing much here. Neither is Dismember, admittedly. So in that case, let's run it back like this. Actually, no, we can cut the K return. Completely forgot about that. That card's dead as all hell. Keep the Sire. I don't know if they run TKS. We didn't see it at all. Yeah, my next thought is maybe just bring in a couple flutes. Yeah, we'll bring in a couple flutes. And run it back like that. Maybe we could cut a Sire for the 3rd flute. Wouldn't be the end of the world. Yes, I would like to play first. Thought I clicked on it. I did not. I'll keep this. Yeah, this is a turn 3 Emrakul, is it not? Pretty close. Stomping Ground, Shock, Utopia Sprawl for red. And pass. And pass. Ugin Lab, Imprint, Talisman, hold up the sign with my luck. 5 in hand. Draw. Magus of the Moon. That is interesting. Because the player's round can sign. And what shut off their lab? I'm going to see first if they have consign. Trigger, always yield. They do not. That is important. And pass. So in that case, we can cast the Herigast into the Emrakul next turn. Talisman. Cost for all the talismans. Sporific Springs. Tapped. Okay, if they had consigned, they would have bolted that. Draw. So in that case, we will go E-Temp. I'm gonna go to combat. Swing of Chrysalis. Down to 8. 18, rather. Emerge Herigast. Double red. Triggers. Always yield. No. Emerge. Sacrifice Herigast. 2, 3. Always yield. Turn 3, Emrakul. Alright, our turn, comrade. Portent, one of the multiverse, another lab. So, I want to confirm here, Portent. For each type, you may exile a card for the rest into the graveyard. Okay, well that sounds pretty good to me. Go to main. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, I should probably keep Ugin tucked, funny enough. So in that case, I guess we could untuck Ugin, cast Portent. Yeah, I guess probably better. So untuck Ugin. And then cast Portent. And done. Yep, I may exile. I'm gonna say no. I guess I could take the sink, put it in the hand, and then bolt. That would end up with 6, 7, so I'm gonna say no, actually. Alright. We'll pass. And pass. Next turn we'll play the Magus. Cut him off of... I guess it doesn't cut off blue, unfortunately. Unfortunately not. Mine. Draw. Chrysalis. Go to combat. Swing for 13. Down to 2. I'm not too worried, regardless. So in that case, I will cast... Actually, I can cast both. Hold on. Play the forest. Red, red. 1, 2. Red. And Magus. And pass. And pass. All the mountains. Plays power plant. And scooch them. Alright, we'll take the win. I want the gemstone. You can cut a sire. I think we cut 2 sires and bring the 3rd flute. Seems reasonable. Let's run it back like this. There's Magus. K command 2/2. And the K command 2/2 is good. I mean, if we need in a pinch, we can name Human Wizard with Cavernous Souls. That's a thing we could do. Especially if they seem like they're gonna get trauma. I mean, yeah, it's looking like it. So in that case, let's play it safe and imprint the Herigast. It's not desirable, but it might be our best option. I will hold. They play a second Tron. Okay, they don't play a second Tron land. Talisman. That's fine. Draw. Talisman. So in that case, I don't need to go Cavern Souls for Magus. I'll hold for the K command, use it as permission. Cost for stock up. I think we still use the K command as permission. I guess actually we don't need to. I'll cast my K command now since they're tapped out. X equals 2. Done. K command and Rumble are good, though we can't cast the Rumble right now. We can with the Talisman. So let's go top, top, and draw. We'll pass. Next turn we have an uncounterable kicked Myco. We can also grab a Ghost Quarter if they do grab a Tron land. And the Tron land, we'll grab the Ghost Quarter. Not to mention we're going to take the Myco spawn. K command, Cavern of Souls, name Eldrazi. Kick the Myco. We haven't seen any, so we'll grab at the mine first. Always yield. Always yield. So I'm thinking we go Ghost Quarter just so we can make sure to have it. And then cast Talisman. And pass. And pass. So next turn we can Herigast, though. Our hand doesn't really show us, doesn't really demonstrate that we want to yet. 2, another Talisman, sure. And draw, holding up blue. Flute. Okay. Well, in that case, first off and foremost, we don't really need to go for a Ghost Quarter. So I will Rumble. I guess you could force. There's a force. Pitches a 1 with Multiverse. Play an E-Temp, and in that case, I'll just hold up the K command and Flute. Attack with Sowing Myco Spawn. And the 17. Let's go to end step and see if you have a Consign. Hello. Thought I clicked on you. Do you have Consign to Memory Friend? If so, I don't think you can ignore this. Yeah, I was about to say. You really can't. Draw. Second Magus. I'm not sure we need Magus at this point, to be truthful. Attack with Myco Spawn. Return Herigast to hand. Alright, let's see if this works. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Do you have another Consign to Memory? It would be unfortunate, but not the end of the world. Deshana's Tidebinder. Interesting. I mean, you can counter the trigger but it's still going to be a 6/6 flyer and have its abilities. Because it is a spell on the stack. Really important thing there. Yeah, that's fine by me. We'll pass. I guess at this point we could Disruptor Flute, naming whatchamacallit. Yeah, let's do that. Flute. Portent of Calamity, just to make it more expensive. And pass. Plays Tower. What this? For 2? Sure. What did you find? You did find Ugin and one of the multiverse. Jesus. Chooses Ugin, multiverse. Imagine you play the multiverse. Neither. What? Why not? Interesting. Stomping Ground. Vel, I will attack with Herigast. How does this work? Why wouldn't they play that? Confusion. Alright, regardless. Cast red. Magus. Cast Magus. Stomping Ground. And pass. So lethal's on board now. No attacks. And draw. K command. Well, I can't cast it right now, but that's fine. Attack. Lethal damage. And oops. Alright, we'll take the win. Alright. Maybe I do like Magus and Ramp. It's not all too difficult to ensure you have your green sources. So, definitely feels good. I could get behind playing Magus in Teamer even. Either that or just a straight up Gruul version without the Null Drifters, but I do like my Null Drifters admittedly. Not to mention us having access to blue for Wasescape. So, something to think about. Regardless though, solid win, or solid league rather, 4-1 at the end of 5 again. I'm, like, once again, the ceiling of Herigast is great. We saw that turn 3 Emrakul, it was fantastic. But we've also seen the floor during this league. And also us just winning despite playing Herigast in the deck. And just never seeing it. So I don't know. Herigast is continuing to be in that strange place of, oh, this card can be fantastic. It can also be god-awful. So, have to think about that. I personally, if I was going to RC Vegas tomorrow, which I'm not, thank God, I don't think I'd play Herigast. To be completely honest, I think I'd play more of a traditional build, probably without Karn. The Karn build's still there. Maybe I do need to like rebuild and test it some more. Maybe. But like testing 3 versions of E-Ramp is a lot, especially because I'm going to probably test E-Ramp, Brood Scale, and Tron. I mean, I'm truly considering whether or not Tron could have any place in the current meta. I'm not sure though. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think with Blink having a high enough meta share, like my thought is no, but I could be wrong. That and also just absolutely folds to Titan. Versus at least E-Ramp and Broodscale have some interaction the way of like Wastegate, Nature's Claim if you play that, or Force of Vigor, right? But like it just 1000% folds if you're playing Tron. So something to consider. At the very least, I think I'll play Tron. It feels like the meta's not as hostile to it as it was post BNR. So could be interesting. We'll add that to rotation. Might add Eldrazi aggro back to the rotation as well. So to like do a full rotation of Brood Scale, Eldrazi aggro, Eldrazi ramp, and Eldrazi Tron. And then kind of pick and choose what I want to put in challenges or play over the weekend. Regardless, it's been fun being back playing Magic. I guess I recorded 2 videos today to be fair. But I haven't played Magic for like the last 4 or 5 days because I've been on a business trip. And it's been boring. I mean, the business trip was fun, actually. It was nice exploring Denver. So I had fun with that. But otherwise, yeah, not being able to play Magic was a little bit tiring. So being back playing Magic's been good. But with that being said, enough of my idle prattling. As always, if you did enjoy today's video, please do consider hitting the like button. Comment down below if you did see any lines I missed, any mistakes that I made, or any general feedback would be much appreciated. For as much that I hope that you'll learn from me, and with my success and failures, I hope I can learn from you all as well. Last but not least, if you have reached this point in the video and haven't already, please do consider hitting the subscribe button as we're getting closer and closer to our next goal of 1,000 subscribers. In fact, as of this very moment, let's take a look. We are 99 subscribers away. So it really would mean a lot if you do subscribe, because once we do reach 1,000, we'll be able to start monetizing these videos, allowing me to start saving up towards a stream PC so I can stream live over on Twitch. In the meantime, though, if you do want to support me monetarily, you can do so over my Patreon, where you can get early access to my 2 videos and any updates I make to my deck guides. With that being said, though, folks, I will see y'all next time. Bye-bye!